as an alternate. Sorry for all that. I'll call this meeting to order at 7 o'clock. We have a quorum. Mike will be a voting member tonight. Next on the agenda is to stand for the pledge. Flags in that corner tonight. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Are there any added agenda items? Hearing none, I'll move right along. I would entertain a motion to approve the meeting minutes first of 2022.
I will make a motion to approve the minutes.
Any changes or corrections? Hearing none,
Get that,
all,
Peg?
hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Mike, you get the vote.
Oh. We're gonna really fix you.
Make it
Makes the
seem-
Makes the next motion.
And I apologize, Rebecca, who was your second?
Osborne.
Thank you.
The two Richards.
Okay, thank you.
All right, new applications we received. Our first one is 137 Scantic Road, IWWA 15-2022, applicant Travis Nedlinger for construction and infrastructure related to 3 additional residential subdivision within 150-foot upland review area. Do we have anybody here to represent that application?
No.
Okay. You want to tell us about it?
Oh, yeah, no, I mean, it's a new subdivision. This is just to be accepted tonight.
To be received.
Yeah, received, sorry. So I'm gonna send everybody for the next month. They sent me packet, they sent me hardcover packet.
Okay,
They sent me all the digital, so I'm gonna make sure everybody has a copy.
yeah,
I'll
because
have
the little
hard
ones are,
copies, so you
are
can look,
helpful.
oh, yeah, they're like this thick.
yeah,
So that way you can look over it for the next month and then make your decision
okay.
for the next meeting in form. But yeah.
It
it's
looks pretty
it's,
straightforward.
It's there's a whole bunch of, it kind of runs all the way through. If you look at the wetlands map, there's
Mhm.
upland and then wetland and then dry and up. It's like a.
There's
marvel.
everything in
Yeah,
there. but
I know.
it's broad.
They'll be doing this eventually, obviously they'll be building on there
Yeah,
and then there was septic involved. So
okay.
that will be what we will be looking at. And
You gotta remember.
well, you'll be looking at voting next month.
Yes.
You can't put a.
And then they'll be
septic
here,
system.
they'll be here. I told them they didn't have to be here for the accept, for the
Receiving of the application.
that they had to be here, or they should be here for the discussion for a motion.
Yes.
next month.
Almost.
Yeah, I mean, we don't really care too much about the subdivision itself. It's more or less the
Yeah.
construction that they kind of outlined, but
Only thing I gotta be careful of, it doesn't abut us. It's like 20 feet away.
Have the what?
of them,
I've been in a budding owner.
you'll get notified.
Yeah, no.
Well, yeah, but I just, whether I should or not. well,
Oh, I see what you're saying.
I guess
Oh,
I'm
gotcha.
not. We're not a budding. Actually, my wife owns it. I do.
Is there within 20 feet, you said?
20. Oh, we
Well,
can
you'll
scale
get
it.
the
We can scale it.
notification. I don't know how that works.
I think tonight you're fine. And
I'll state it
Yeah.
anyway. when
Yeah.
we start.
yeah, this is just to receive the application. So.
But I
Especially
think,
tonight.
I think Mike should make the motion and receive it, don't you?
That motion.
Did you get that, Peg?
No, to be honest with you, and I have no clue which one you're talking about. Receipt applications, I'm looking at Windsorville Road and Rice Road. Do we have another one?
There's Scantic, not under new applications.
There's 137 Scantic. Did you get the updated agenda that was sent, what,
Yeah, I sent
yesterday?
it to today.
No.
Okay.
Okay, so 137 scan.
137 Scantic,
It's on the
application number 15-2022.
First page.
Okay,
So Mike is making the motion that we receive the application. Is there a second?
Second.
And Osborne seconds. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
All right.
thank you.
Yes. All right, so then the next one, Peg, is 165 Rockville Road, application number 9-2022.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so the application is for Karen Aldorf to remove cattails from existing, Alford, sorry. Looking at the computer way too long today. Remove cattails from existing pond wetlands area. Assuming that's for you guys. So we see the pictures in our application. Do you wanna?
Well, we're gonna be discussing this in new business. I put them as applications because they're after the fact, these two, under the new business, they'll be what we call them.
We
They'll be-
are.
Well, they're
Was it
They've
under
already-
pond maintenance and regulating wetlands?
We're gonna talk about each one of those. They're applications after the fact, so they're remedial applications, basically. This one we would have put in as a more than likely,
Agent
as of
decision?
right. No, this one
Oh.
we would have put in as of right. For, so that will be the new business, and we have all the information here, and then they're here to talk with you if you have any questions about it as well, so they.
My brain is very confused. So what are we doing
So
right
sorry,
now?
so just to
Why
be
is it
clear,
right? Why is it right?
for its residential pond, they wanted to remove the
Yeah.
cattails.
Yeah, but it doesn't mean it is it right.
Well, that's for you to decide, so this is what we have them here for under
Yeah.
new business. So what I did was, they've already done the work, the two that are on.
Oh, okay.
So
So
the
this was
next-
never a violation though, because I don't remember ever hearing about this.
They
right?
were, they didn't get to the violation point, because
Okay.
they responded immediately to the friendly letter we sent out.
Got it.
So these have been done, but I put them in case they needed to officially be received as an application, even though it's already been completed. Under the category of our agenda, I wasn't sure if I needed to put that in there.
I don't think they would need to be received because they're coming because
Sorry.
of the violation.
They were never cited for it,
But,
so.
yeah, I
that's kind of
know.
a gray area.
Yeah, that's why, so I wasn't sure which category for both of these.
Okay, so we're gonna,
So
Be
see the
receiving and talking
applications,
about-
and we'll go through the process,
Yeah, receiving and
I'm sure.
then we will be talking.
okay, so just for formality, can I get a motion to receive application 9-2022 for 165 Rockville?
Okay, I'll make a motion for 165 Rockville Road to see IWWA application 092022, applicant Karen Alfred, removal of cattails from existing pond in the wetlands area.
Second.
Any discussion? Do that later. All right, all in favor?
All right,
Aye.
All
Who was
right,
your second?
Rick Osborne.
Thank you.
to Richard.
So the next one, just for formality again, is 37 Rice Road, IWWA 14-2022, applicant Michelle Bidwell. Construction of a 36 by 36 barn in a portion of the Upland View area. So again, this is just for formality that we are receiving this application. We will be talking about it. This was a violation follow-up.
We'll do that one, Rick, or you want me to?
I make a motion to accept the application for number
37 Rice.
WA 14-2022 at 37 Rice Road.
Nick, you want to second that one?
Second, Mike.
All right, Mike will second that one. Any further
Wow.
discussion? All in favor?
All right,
All right, so we have no public hearings, no continued public hearings. So moving along to new business, back to 165 Redhill Road. Sorry, guys.
here we go.
Okay, So-
Here we go.
Got that somewhere.
So we have Miss Alford, Mr. Alford, I didn't know that. Okay, Mr. Alford, here from 165 Rockville Road. They have a residential pond back here on their property. And they did removal from the perimeter on the front part of the outside of the pond. No dredging, no excavation, just removal of wildlife, not wildlife, but cattails and other plant life, so that they can enjoy their pond. I received a complaint in the office. I sent the first step, which was a friendly letter, inquiring into the activity. They immediately responded. They invited me to their property to see what they had done. I did the inspection. I took pictures, which you'll find in the report. Yeah, they'll see here. They immediately ceased what they were doing. They left what they had pulled right there. Nothing was removed. I mean, removed from the property. It was left. And so they came into our office, they did their official permit. They have not received a violation to date, because they took care of this right upon what we talked when they received it. And so I had looked at this upon the condition that if had they come before us, we would have sent them in for an as of right determination. They wouldn't have officially filled out an actual permit at
And
that
this
point.
was
This
just
is
to remove
before.
the cattails.
Yes, so I will let,
You're welcome to come up and sit with us, Karen.
so we would have.
What it was is.
You can come sit with us.
Oh,
You don't have to
oh,
stand there.
We're not that.
Yeah, had they come to us before they did it, we would have brought it before you as an as of right to see if that's what you determined that it was. That's why I put that.
Honestly, I didn't think it was a big deal. I mean, we've had cattails and I just didn't like them and I wanted to see the pond and be able to go ice skating on it. And so, I mean, the only way to get rid of them was to take them out. And they stayed right on the property. I didn't just remove them. They were just out and that's it.
Did you just pull them out or? did
Well,
you-
I'm sure they will, but I mean, at least it gives me a chance to, I mean, my dogs like to go in there now, and see the pond.
Was that originally a duck pond?
Yeah, it was built, it was there when we moved in there years
Yeah.
ago, it was just whoever built it, the first people that owned the property. And it just overgrew, so I couldn't, do anything.
They may have it
Uh-huh.
there before
Hunt, no. Oh, those are the ones.
It was the first.
then.
Okay, there you go.
I think. That's
I
why I
have no
wanted.
idea.
Yeah, that was there when they built the house in 85 or 86. when I was
Yeah.
little, they did it Probably in the early 80s and 90s.
That's just off of Winsville Farm anyway, really.
That's right near it.
Well, it goes right by his stoves
Yeah.
and through there. But it's
So-
been there, that's for sure.
That's my piece. All I did was just take some out. I didn't know anything about a permit to come down to take, honestly, about cattails. I had no clue about any type of permit that I had to take out.
And I noticed no, they didn't expand it, no widening, there's no dredging.
Yeah, it looks like they really just yanked out. the
Just,
ground.
that's all we do, just yank them out.
So, you know.
Yeah, right? Well,
And what were you saying earlier about?
Well, you say is it right? What does that mean? Actually,
So
the definition of.
it was to. let's see,
I mean,
think I-
farmers has as of right.
Well, there's a
Yeah,
residential
that's right.
section too, that's as a right to,
Oh, it is?
for residential landscaping of your property, which we thought, landscaping
Oh,
around
I
your
see.
pond.
All right.
So, yeah, that's in the same section where they have the farm
Yeah.
as of right, so that's what we kind of,
Went by. Okay.
yeah. Thought I put the,
I would agree with that.
thought I put the section in there.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
I would want to make
It's
sure. that-
section 4.1-B, I guess it actually. Yeah, so like that's the section of the regulations for the wetlands that talks about residential as of right. So the two,
I'm totally fine with that.
the two motions that I presented was the motion to approve the inland wetland application 09-2022 as of right determination for the clearing and maintenance of an existing residential pond located at 165 Rockville Road. Which they would have come, if they came to you initially, they would not have filled out a permit, they would not have paid for it. Number two is a motion to approve the application for the cleaning and maintenance of an existing residential pond without the as of right determination, which they've paid for a permit for already. They prepaid. See how the outcome. And if you chose this route, there's a fine of $50 for performing work without a permit. So those are the two motions that the planning department has presented, so. And if you have a different one, obviously.
Go ahead.
Is it possible to remit the fine?
Yeah, they
Getting the
Clearly
permit- getting the permit,
cooperated.
You should have got it anyway. I
Yeah.
don't see, if you were gonna make a fine, $1 would be plenty.
Why I can do that?
No, I
If you were
just, we don't
determined-
want to be,
That's not why we created.
But we
Visible
didn't
rotten
know, I mean,
people.
you know me and Bob, we never, we
No.
don't know any, you
ma'am.
know, I
I
mean.
never seen it.
If
Yeah,
you
right,
were
yeah.
to determine it as
Yeah.
of right, they will be refunded
Okay.
for what they have.
So
paid,
automatically
so-
by saying it as an as of right, they'd get refunded the money without refunding
Probably
the
would.
money.
Really, it probably.
Yeah, we would have done it as an as of right.
Yeah, just.
So the next time I come and take cattails out, I make sure I come to the town.
Yeah, just come talk to us.
Okay.
The only thing I do want clear on this is, it looks like you might want to back in there with a York rake or something.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna grade, no, I'm gonna
Yeah.
grade the whole thing right around, but I just,
Well, they were
I just
grading
did all
the
the rocks. I just
Yeah,
did all
we
the
just
rocks.
done that because we
You
wanted
know,
to make
I
sure.
didn't touch it right now because I'm gonna level it all out real nice and
Yeah,
seed it. I already got
Really
seed.
should.
But what I'm gonna do- No, what we did is after we did it, I left all the frogs, the snakes, I love the snakes, the turtles. I just let them go natural, let everything grow up a little bit, that way they can have their life and then just before the fall, I'm spinning out real nice and look good and see how it's all done.
I
I didn't want to
suppose,
bother the little froggies and all that stuff and the snakes, nice snakes up there.
Yeah.
No, can't do it. No.
Now you can see them swim.
Was that? I'm totally fine with
Okay.
that. Was that your
Yeah,
only
I'm
question?
all
Hold
set.
on. Don't
yes,
go
oh,
yet.
you have.
Did you have a question?
No.
I have one question, and I remember we had talked about this a while ago, and it's not in particular to this application, but now that they've come in front of us, is there a way that we can flag the deed? So if they ever sell their property, that the next person would know that they have wetlands on their property? I remember we talked about this at one point.
Yeah.
Can you just look into it as a
Yeah.
department?
Yeah.
Oh, we know we
maintaining-
got wetlands way
maintaining.
out in the woods out there. I don't go way out in the woods out there,
Yeah.
you know? We don't go out.
And it's
we
not
don't
just
go
for
out-
you
We
guys,
don't
this is
go
just
out
some-
there.
Right,
This
right,
would be
no,
a
we
standard
appreciate-
thing
yeah,
going
that's a good idea.
forward.
But as far as,
We do it, we've done it on new homes, new.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know we've done it on the
We
new
have.
ones.
I can talk to Helen and see how that.
Okay.
is done.
Yeah.
That was my only question. It really wasn't particular to
Just
this,
when you
just-
get something like that, you should just,
Well, you would want to know.
Yeah.
right now, we're not unreasonable.
oh, we're human.
Well.
If there's no other questions, Dick, I will let you
I will-
continue
You're
with
gonna
your.
let me make the
All
motion?
right,
Okay.
make a motion.
I would like to make a motion to approve inland wetlands application 09/2022 as of right determination for cleaning and maintenance of an existing residential pond located at 165 Rockville Road, Broadbrook, assessor map 020, block 83, lot 006.
I'll second that.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, across the board. You guys are all set. Thank you for calling.
There you go.
For
Nice seeing
coming in.
you, Bob.
Nice to see you.
No problem.
Enjoy your farm.
You go love those.
Yeah, you love
Yeah,
seeing
we will
it.
take those puppies
Yes,
for a
yes.
walk.
Thank
Oh,
you.
yeah, they.
Oh, you got the check.
I got you. Meet the doggies.
There used to be a red tractor sat down there beside that pond for years.
What's that?
The farm all BN before you bought the
Yeah,
place.
I never seen it, no.
No.
What's his name? The
Yeah,
first
for a
person.
while,
I don't know
The
how
first
that-
person might have.
Yeah, Blitz. Blitz is there.
Right. I don't know how that works with them. I'll have to find out.
Yeah, I don't
know.
Hey, hey,
I
hey,
appreciate
you bring
it.
us with that.
Oh, you're
Thank you,
welcome.
guys.
Thank you. Have a good summer. You too.
All right, next one is 37 Rice Road, application 14-2022. For the construction of a barn. You're welcome.
This is
to come up and-
Michelle Bidwell.
Sure.
So we kind of have a similar situation.
smiling and laughing as much as you were.
This is not as of right, but it probably would have been an agent decision. We got notification that our structure was at this property, 37 Rice Road. And it was hard, it's hard because it's back there,
Yeah.
so initially we couldn't tell
Looks
if
like
it
a
was
nice
her
barn.
property or the one
Well,
next
it's a
to it.
beauty, but it's only about 3/4 of the way done.
So we initially sent a letter again. This first one was another warning, friendly inquiry, what's going on. Ms. Bidwell immediately responded. She invited Ken and I out to her property. We went and inspected and it was in fact a barn, adorable little animals actually at the time.
Hobby farm, my
Oh,
daughters.
okay.
They're up in a ball.
So they built this barn, it's 36 by 36. Ms. Bidwell was under the impression that her contractor had pulled the
Not
permits.
under the impression, I have it in writing from him, 3 different texts, 3 different times.
And she's been
Permits
saving
were
them
all set. He had the plans, he had an appointment to bring in and show somebody on Friday. Yeah, I got it all in writing.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, yeah,
So,
yeah.
so.
Did they even get a building permit? They
No,
just-
nothing.
no.
You're kidding.
Water and
We
electric.
discovered nothing.
He got water and electric, but
He did?
whoever at the
How did he get that
time,
without a?
How did he get that without a building
I
permit?
don't know, whoever gave him the permit for water, he did have water and electric,
We
correct?
had something, I believe. I don't
And
know.
apparently whoever approved the permit thought it was for something in the house.
Yeah, that could.
Okay.
Yeah.
So she came in again immediately, filled out the proper paperwork for zoning. She went and had an as-built done for us, landmark survey.
Landmark surveys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But basically,
There's an app in here, if that's what you're.
my.
Sure. I haven't seen her work.
Yeah, so it's about three quarters of it, turns out, is in the upland review area. Had this been given to us prior, we would have made it an agent decision, being a barn, being an upland review. Or we would have consulted and probably done it.
We
as an
actually
agent decision.
probably could have built it somewhere else.
No,
It
they-
didn't have to be there.
I don't know, you did a good job, at least you're legal on the septic system.
I know.
Yeah, so they were,
I know.
she, yeah.
That's a miracle.
Which I didn't know until I brought the survey
So,
to the
yeah,
health
she had the
department.
as-built, she took it. We've had no contact from the contractor,
No.
MIA.
Oh, yeah? Has he got a license?
Yes, he
Yes,
does.
He does, we got verified that.
Yeah, a
Give
little,
us a
So-
phone number.
We, everything on the zoning end has been taken care of. Her next step was to come into wetlands, but since she had the as-built, her health department's been taken care of. It's just the building now that we're trying to help her with. Which is a whole other, I know that. has
Yeah,
nothing
it's
to do
a
with
whole-
wetlands, but that's
Yeah,
she's
that's
working
a whole,
on.
yeah,
yeah.
we're only
Um,
concerned about the wetlands part.
We did issue formal citation out once after all of this because, so she had it for a record.
Yeah,
And especially in terms of with the
whole
whole
situation.
situation. So what's my
I'm
motion?
getting my folder together.
yeah,
Yeah, I think I would.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I wrote the motion for this one, that we would have initially come to you just as an agent. decision.
yeah, I
Voted
agree
on
that
it.
this definitely would have been an agent decision. I mean,
Absolutely.
you're far enough away from all
From-
the hard slopes that are there. You have a little bit of grading factor, but it's not much at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, I strongly think that we would have made this an agent decision.
Okay,
What do you think, Rick?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, definitely.
so she's already, that would have included a permit that she
Okay.
did already pay for, her permit for this,
yep, yep.
which she would have done with an agent decision,
Yep.
so.
Well, then we. What we just did, I think we have to do the same thing. We Charge the fine and remit it.
I was sitting here thinking, oh my God, they cut cat,
It's up to you guys.
cattails down and they had to come see you. I built the damn barn.
I don't see.
We should build it on your property.
I know, it's true. Well, yeah, I mean, the,
The motion that I had drafted was motion to approve the inland wetlands application 14-2022 for the maintenance of the construction of a 36 by 36 barn located at 37 Rice Road. Assessor map 116, block 21, lot 29, with a remedial permit fee previously paid of $135, an additional fine up to $50 for work completed without a permit as per section C of the town of East Windsor Wetlands. That is up to you, but this is the ordinance number. So,
Yeah, I think based on the whole situation, that you were fully under the impression that everything was
Yeah.
covered and
honest to God,
and it's not that
I can't believe
totally
somebody was
sympathetic
doing
with
that. 3 different texts. He told me
Yeah.
we were all set.
yeah.
Same.
Oh, God, believe me. Yeah.
Mike Sock and I looked at that property 30 years ago. It's that property we looked at, Lorraine Jacobone owned that. Yeah, right? I remember when I looked at it.
Giving her all the history now, Rick. Well, what do we do, guys? We can't see a fine for somebody.
I can't
It's
see a
nothing
fine
to
for
do
this
with her
either.
fault.
No.
I
Would you
just-
like to make a motion?
Okay, well, I'm gonna cross the and an additional fine. Okay, Peg, everything after the 135, I'm not gonna make as a motion, if you have a copy.
No, I don't.
Oh, boy.
Why would I have a motion?
You got the digital copy.
Danielle will give it to me, I'm sure.
Okay, well, that's gonna come out.
Okay, after,
I'll read it again, and then you can listen to my mumbling and holler at me.
thank you. Thank you, sir.
I'll make a motion to approve inland wetlands application 14-2022 for the maintenance of the construction of a 36 by 36 barn located at 37 Rice Road, East Windsor, assessor map 16, block 21, lot 029, with a remedial permit fee previously paid of $135. Period.
Is there a second?
Second.
Osborne seconds. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Ayes across the board.
Thank
So
you.
sorry.
So we're getting closer to being
Yeah, we're-
legal.
we're
all done now.
Good luck.
Oh,
We're helping.
Excuse
out.
me,
Finish
Group, just for your record, could you have Mrs. Bidwell? Please just state her name for
Just
the
state
record.
your name for the
Oh,
record.
Michelle Bidwell.
Thank you. Sorry for the
Sorry,
annoyance.
Meg.
Hey, we messed things up good around
Yeah,
here.
sorry.
No.
No, actually, my husband lives from the other side of the river. He had no idea how many Bidwells were on this.
I'm saying that there is a Bidwell in,
Bidwell Tavern and
Oh,
Coventry.
no, there's a teacher, 8th grade science teacher.
I went to school with a couple of Bidwells in
Okay.
Manchester. And there's Bidwells all over on this side of the river.
That's an old New England
My aunt was
name.
married to Willis Bissell. Bidwell, Bidwell, they're all.
Oh, okay.
Looks like a real nice barn.
Yeah,
It's gorgeous.
It's
She-
beautiful.
She wants to put the doors on.
Yeah,
Oh, you don't have the doors on yet?
No.
She stopped. She
He
literally
stopped in
stopped.
November and he said that he had ordered the hardware for the doors. Everything was on back order because of the delivery problems.
Yeah.
And I haven't heard from him since Thanksgiving. I mean, a couple of emails about, he sounded like it was up to me to, I don't know.
Yeah, he initially called me back after a couple calls and then didn't reply to anything.
Didn't follow through on
Didn't
anything.
give, didn't give anything. I told him we needed.
well, let's just.
I got that straightened out for you.
Yeah, what's
Huh?
the building issue that we're gonna.
Well,
Yeah,
That'll be next.
we have a new building.
well, you're all set with us, so.
Excellent. Thank you very much, everyone.
Two down, one
Have
to
a-
go.
have a nice summer. I appreciate
luck.
it.
Enjoy the rest of your night. Good
Yeah.
luck with the rest of this.
Danielle can keep you posted how it
Yes.
comes out.
Yeah, she'll keep us.
Yeah,
posted.
please do.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. All right, we have no old business. We have nothing under miscellaneous. We have agent reviews, reports and decisions.
Yes.
HOA.
So 53 Perry Lane is a deck. It's just, these are just, I mean, it's literally right inside the agent, the upland review, just on the edge. That was an agent decision.
Yeah,
There is a conservation easement on the property. It's not close to it.
okay,
They, East Road and Reservoir Ave is doing a subdivision of some property where down the road, when it starts to be developed, the septic area will be proposed to be an upland review area. It's not that far yet.
okay, so
But
there
they
is
put
a
in-
subdivision.
We just wanted to make sure
You
you
did
know,
find some wetlands on that.
we were aware. It's so like,
Yeah.
yeah.
I know.
We
How'd
said,
you
you know what,
find it?
to be
It's all
safe.
gravel on the.
That's all super gravel under there. Are you kidding?
We wanted to be on the safe side. We know it's a subdivision, but said, we'll just make sure it's there. And then Hayfield Lane, shed, again, upland review area. It actually might not be 12 by 12. We haven't decided, it might be smaller. But he's got a conservation easement that takes up a giant portion of his whole rear yard. So finding a place for this guy to put his shed was a bit of a problem, but we ended up having to do it in the uplands review area. Again, no foundation, just gravel, just he's ordering it. So that was an easy decision.
That's easy.
Sounds good.
And then, oh, 3 Thompson Road, I don't know if y'all remember, this was from 2 years ago, I don't know who was on the board then. There's a remediation going on where the wetlands area is at 3 Thompson Road. You approved everything, the wetlands committee approved it.
permit for regulated activity.
Was that in the sewer?
Oh, that was
That's
the
right
Dunkin'
on the
Donuts.
corner, so just by Dunkin' Donuts, there's a K, it's a K.
Dunkin'
Oh,
Donuts,
yeah, that-
this one,
Remember they had the
yeah,
pipe
yeah,
coming
yeah.
out?
So
Yeah,
one of the
damn,
conditions you
yeah.
had was that they have a pre-construction, I guess you could call it, meeting with us to show once they were ready to get started, what they
Yes.
were actually gonna do, because she had approved a management plan.
There was a lot for them.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was.
so they met with us to go over everything again. The
I know
only
they-
comments they had were that Glenn met us too. They're going to be diverting a little bit of the stormwater that's supposed to go one way, that doesn't go one way right now. So they're gonna make it go that way. Next week, that's gonna be something they do first.
Okay,
Len approved that they can do some bramble clearing before. Yeah, it looks like Paisley Meadow Woods
Okay.
over there. They can't even get machines in there to start the work
Okay.
without clearing some of this. He said, keep an eye on it, make sure they don't disrupt anything, but they could do some smaller work just to get that out of the way. They put
Okay.
machinery in, he gave them permission to do that.
That
20
had something to do with the chemicals.
Yes.
yeah.
So what's existing that's been there forever, apparently, poor man's trying to retire, he sold the business to Vichy. He used to do welding of unlike metals, so it would be like nickel to copper.
Electron beam welding.
Yeah, and so there was definitely some contamination that went into that giant, beautiful wetland area on that side.
Yeah.
And with the Connecticut transfer regulation, if you change, even if you're not building anything, even if you're not changing anything, but ownership, you've got to remediate any kind of pollution,
Okay,
anything that's been done, which is why this all came to be in
Yeah.
2020. So they are going forward with their plan. They met with Len about the erosion control, the edging along the side. They have a huge awesome planting, which was in the original plans, but
yeah,
this is
hadn't
all new
seen
to
it.
me today, so I was like, wow, there's a couple of species they cannot get. They can't get right now. The elm species that were approved, so they're probably will be replacing with silver maple.
okay,
There's one wetland species, he did not know off the top of his head, they couldn't get available, but they will be replacing it and talking to us about
okay,
a similar light, but he said that's way
yeah,
way down the road.
and who knows,
Um,
that could all change by then.
Yeah. The only other thing was that there are 3 cottonwood trees. It's on the original plans. They were supposed to keep these on the perimeter and they were replacing the ones all within.
Yep.
They are diseased and just, bulbous.
Not, yeah. I
So
know they-
it was not, and Len checked with them too, the Army Corps, the federal permits they got, nobody, and no one from our permission requested that those trees stay, they just were there, they're gonna leave them there.
Yeah,
So they are gonna remove those 3 cottonwoods, so.
if they're not healthy, then.
If they're
get rid of
healthy,
them.
good thing.
But they will replant
Okay,
in their, I mean, he's very, very diligent about everything.
Cottonwood is the same as a poplar, isn't it?
The tall, skinny, I don't know
Yeah,
if that's
the
the
same
same,
with the popular, isn't it?
Similar, yeah.
They're the same
but they've got,
species.
they are literally not only covered in brambles, even if by the time they try to get brambles
Oh,
again.
vine,
Yeah.
Yeah,
But they've got
Vine.
these bulbous kind of things growing. He said, I don't feel comfortable in general with those not falling over, but I don't want my guys in there with machinery and those coming
Yeah.
down. So that was 33 through 35 that will be
okay,
taken and then replanted down
Gotcha.
the road.
that's not an issue.
We gotta make any official on that.
No,
or
we
No,
never
this
said
was just
anything.
Go with your
report.
agent's decision.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was all
Okay.
approved, but he wanted to report that they will be starting the 25th.
Okay,
It's, they've got an engineer, Steve McLaughlin. He's the man on site, and he will be overseeing the invasive species
Yep.
removal and replacement for the next 3 years.
okay,
And reporting to us,
Good.
which I believe is one of the conditions.
Yes,
That's
we
one
did
of the
have a
conditions
report.
on that one.
And then there's a woman named Karen who couldn't be there today. She was the other engineer on site. They don't think there should be anything that's filtering out into the roadway there, but they said she will be sweeping by hand if they don't, I mean, literally, they said you won't see a speck of
Yeah.
anything here that's, and then Len has them putting out 1.5 inch stone as the edging at the very end.
Yep.
He approved that
Okay.
a bit more.
Oh, that's kind of what you usually use.
Yeah, well, there was something about topsoil or in the original, but Len talked to them about it.
okay.
So So that's all just good news.
Just an update.
One's happy, that's good.
He's very happy. He did not travel to the swamps with me though today, though, which would have been fun. And the last one, no, there's no new complaints for our violations.
Hey.
I have a couple of other ones, but no wetlands ones.
Well, we don't care about those.
That ain't our problem.
Okay, so then there's no other violations, nothing to update on conference seminars or trainings, no correspondence, any general board discussion.
I just added this for your own. Your citations, you all agreed and voted on, it's at the very end of your packet. Just for your own purpose, so you have it. Your,
Schedule.
the schedule, the ordinance, and then the fee schedule. Just so now that we're getting into more bringing violations to the
This is helpful
commission,
to have the packets.
that way you.
This is a good thing.
Well, that's what I figured. This was something you all had.
Yep.
So that gives you a reminder of the ordinance that, and then the schedule of fees that you voted on. So you just had it for your own. There's no discussion with much, but that was just for you.
We may have to start charging some for this. Doing too much without, if it gets to be a rash.
Yeah, but I mean,
Yeah,
it's just
yeah.
case by case. It totally depends on what's going on.
Yeah.
So. All right, any public participation?
It's quiet tonight.
Winter Road, are they gonna do anything harvesting that?
Oh, yeah, the timber harvest on Winkler. Have we had an update on that?
We have not had an update. Winkler is over by, what's the address? I looked at somebody property.
Woods.
It's the wood. They're doing that forestry. They're taking down the
I
trees.
see a for sale sign then.
And there's a, well,
Is that
that's what
the
I'm
one
saying,
where
there's a
the-
sale sign on it.
Oh,
Part of
Because
it.
that's
Now,
the,
I don't know if
that's not the dentist, that's Wells.
no, that's not the dentist.
Because there was one we found this week. Ruth and I drove around for about 3
No,
hours.
it's on Winkler, it branches off.
Right when you-
Wells.
Yeah, right.
Oh, where the big, beautiful,
Yes.
Yeah.
trees.
no, we had nothing. That's been just dormant.
Oh.
When
This
is the
would be the perfect
application
year to
up?
do it, we're gonna do it,
I know. It's so
because it's dry.
dry.
Well,
Yeah,
that's
you know
what we
that
should
one,
be
the
doing.
trees.
Do we know when their application is up? Because that was like a year or
Yeah.
two ago.
I'll find out.
Was it 5 years?
Yeah,
I
usually
think so.
5 and then break new for another 5.
Oh, it's a 5-year and it was.
I think
I
so.
would think. If I remember right.
Katrina has actually a
A list of all the
list and
added.
when they expire, what's due
Yeah.
next. And so I'll find out.
Okay.
Because
They
you really
posted it.
Yeah,
wouldn't want to be in there any other time of the year.
Perfect.
I know.
Right now, you do very little damage.
Yeah, and then we know that the solar in the pits is on pause as well. And was there something else that was on hold? That was an obligation?
Skylark Airport, anything on that?
No, we contacted them again and said, hey,
You
remember?
can't see because everything's grown
You
up.
can't, no, and we went by there twice with our big tour the other day. We kept, because I said, I think we could drive up this dirt road. There's no trespassing.
There isn't.
No, you could drive right in there.
There's supposed to be. a
Well,
gate,
no, if
though.
you drive into the airport, then it's private. You can't go past. But there's a dirt road if you drive past that we said, maybe we can.
Oh, that
On
is-
the-
We can't see anything and we contacted the people that and we haven't heard back. So, yeah, I don't know.
Actually, if you look, Newbury Road goes all the way through. I think it's still town
Hold
property.
on, hold on. I got-
Newberry Road?
Not
You
doing-
drove
not
down
doing-
that.
It goes right
That's
beside
Newbury.
that house with the fence on the front. It goes right straight through onto Wells Road.
Well, you can also see if you look at Google Earth Pro, you
That
can
comes
go
out
back in
along-
history and see the
comes
clearing.
out.
Almost near, well, Oval.
But
Yeah,
they're-
a little further north.
yeah. They last
There's
time,
no right of way anymore.
the last we talked to them, they had a soil scientist
Yeah, it
doing
used
some
to
work.
jog over. a
And then they
little
were
bit
supposed
and
to
then
give us
go
a
right
call.
down
There's,
from
there's no more right of way unless they got merged.
Okay.
And they
must have
did it,
merged
and then
it.
Ruth called our guy back. Didn't get a return call, and then I believe we contacted him last week, or we tried to contact him last week and haven't heard. That's on our big, yeah, we.
Because that's a question if it's even a violation, right? Like, we don't know if they're actually in wetlands or not.
It's in that area, yeah, we don't know until we see it.
You
sometime.
gotta know where it
They
is.
definitely
but that-
cleared. We don't know if they, I mean, you can see that they cleared with the history, the aerial history on
Yeah.
Google Earth. You can see from 2022. And you go
We can
back
see
and they've
those.
definitely cleared.
We've got the thing on
But
there.
where that
This is
delineation
2019
is,
is true.
Yeah.
Well, we're talking about if you're looking at an overhead.
I guess the only
container,
concern is if they,
And then
You're
there's a
talking
section
over
on
in
the
here,
s-
aren't you? Or you're
it's-
talking up in here.
I think they're.
I don't know if it's a roadway or if that's the
Yeah.
runway, but there's a strip and then there's a corner that's
Right.
wide a lot, so.
And have we sent them a notice of violation?
No, because we don't know if there's a violation technically yet. We need to see it. You can't get in there. And what you can see is that they've cleared something, but we're.
Right, but I feel like,
It'll show up when the leaves go off the trees.
I don't know if we
No,
can,
it's
like,
right, they don't clear right along the runway. I mean.
it's clear,
to
To
the
the north
north of
side
the
of the
runway.
runway or to the south side?
North
no, the
side.
north
Yep,
side.
Yep, they've been doing that.
I almost
for
am
years.
thinking, do we send them a notice of
Water
violation
table's
saying
about
that it's
far
been
below the runway.
reported? And since we're not able to access the property, we're sending you this violation. If you work with us, we're not.
We
gonna-
could send them according to our citation schedule. We have to send them an inquiry first.
Right.
Done. So I gotta
Okay.
check with if that's, I have to see if that's been fulfilled
Yeah,
Yes.
and we can.
because I don't want
Go to
this
the
to get
next-
worse than what it
the
is.
next
And
step.
I understand we're going the right way, but if it truly is a violation and we're
Yeah.
letting it get worse and not finding them.
We may be able, that might be considered the friendly inquiry. And
Okay,
if that is, then we can go to the
yeah,
citation. I just don't know how to. I mean, we know that we think that, we know that they've cleared, we just don't know if they have violated a wetland area. So
right.
that's-
I mean,
that's
our
really sticky.
authoritative data is data data. Knowing where their stuff is, they're fully in the upland review area regardless.
Okay,
Yes.
So I would say that's definitely means to move forward with that and try to get answers from
The only
them.
other thing I could say is take a trolley car, right?
Does that go by there?
I think it's all
Yeah.
grown up
You don't
still.
see it from there.
I think it's still so grown up over
Is
there.
it over that much?
I will
Yeah.
volunteer for a trolley ride to, just to investigate.
Yeah,
Well, that'd be a good way to get away with it. No. But that's.
yeah,
that's-
let's
that's super
continue
wet
to
in there.
pursue that because,
Probably not this year.
yeah, but,
Well, like she says, though, we would be remiss in not.
yeah. Because my thing is, I don't know if they're stumping everything over there. It's so
Yeah.
hard to tell from the road when there
Exactly.
were leaves off the tree that it's so hard that if they're stumping, that's
And there's-
true violation.
right.
There's issues there.
Well, they're stumped up. kind of.
I don't know. I couldn't see that far.
Well, you remember Mike used to
That's the
pull
problem,
that
we
nonsense.
can
That's why I
see
can
it.
dig them up and turn them upside down.
Maybe those are the ones we did.
Remember that?
This is the same property?
Yeah, this used to be a.
He was on the wetlands board.
He
Passed away now.
passed away quite a while ago. And then
So I'll have to see if we can get.
Bruce Beamer bought it.
Yeah. That's
I
why
don't know
I
if he
say.
still owns it or not.
Beamer still owns it.
He does, I think he still owns it.
All right, well, look into that and let us know what.
Yeah, we
decisions
can
are
get-
made.
Just thought I'd bring it up.
Remember,
Yeah.
we did that with BB and, possible violations after everything was checked
Yeah.
out. We sent him a nice letter. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I went over those guys.
Yeah, no
Yeah.
violations,
Yeah.
obvious violations this time, and thank you. And
Um,
I think he was happy to get
They
it.
were very nice.
Yeah,
And we weren't, we didn't just leave him hanging.
Yeah, nice when we did talk to them, we just can't seem to nail down and we have twice and it's been canceled for one reason.
But if they say they get soil scientists,
Yeah, they have somebody,
that sounds fishy to me.
yeah.
Why would you get one if you weren't doing it?
well, he is, and
Just let us know what comes out of it. We can
Yeah.
further discuss
Yeah.
later instead of making.
Because that's, I think a soil scientist would be very, especially over in that area,
I,
up towards,
I can talk about this stuff.
up towards Winkler Road and off to the north.
Yeah.
Because we do have the data for Bass's property, which is abutting it. And it's pretty much
That piece
wetlands
was
in there.
sold.
Yeah, that one that they were gonna put the apartments in. That's just north of the trolley cross.
Yeah, that's on, yeah. that's
Where the rail
on-
pile is,
Yeah.
and then the property line's
Yeah.
right there, and then all that field, and that belongs to the estate of, what, Walter Bass, I guess.
Walk back there.
You can walk in that way too.
Yeah.
And I think there's a permit there on that property still, isn't it?
There were condos.
Did we give them a?
What's that
I think we
address?
gave them a- I don't know what the number is.
I think it's run out.
And I don't remember any of that, so I think that's run out.
It's gotta be, well, don't forget, you can renew it every 10 years. It hasn't
Yeah, but I
been
don't
10
think anything
hasn't
was-
been 10 years.
Hmm.
I remember they were gonna have the cellar drains coming out and surface.
No.
Just wait a. But that property runs right alongside of the
Right
airport
alongside.
property. So if there is still a permit.
Which property?
The vast, that's not a good. Just a railroad. Right there, right there. That's- you've got it highlighted,
That
I
one?
think.
It is that one?
I think you've got it highlighted. Yeah, and because that's all airport property.
Used to be a tobacco shed.
That's, yeah, and then that property used to continue all over in here. That was all one property.
So potentially it's 55 Winkler if you're looking for an address.
Also, we couldn't get the financing. for that
Yeah, I
property.
think that's what it was. And then
That's
Buddy,
what put the-
Buddy got sick and died.
The Bass still own?
I think
I
they
think
stayed.
so. I think one of his brothers bought, well, all Silver left there.
Took it over.
Yeah. Yeah, they live in
Capital
California
Corporation.
or something. They don't live around here.
Okay,
A land transfer.
okay. Do we have anything for executive session? No? Okay, then I think we're all
I
set.
think it gets put on there. every meeting.
I do too,
Yeah.
because we have it open.
The selectmen always used to do that too.
It's on the
Um,
bylaws to be included in the agenda.
Yeah, I'm just gonna, yeah. All right, entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn. I'll second it.
All in favor?
I,
7:46 Peg.
Thank you.
That was Osborne and then seconded by Mike.
Okay, thank you. Have a
Thank
good,
you. Have a good night.
you too.
gotta make him work now. He's acting